Sometimes life can feel like a game of poker. You can never know for sure how good or bad a hand anyone else has been dealt, and it can be hard to work out what emotions anyone else is feeling and why. And yet, your ability to read these things in others will determine how you play your own cards in life, as well as your relationships with the others in the game. Today, we are examining the specific skill of understanding the driver. I kind of see the skill of understanding the driver as a beefed up version of naming the emotion. That's because in understanding the driver, we're trying to get at the thing that is behind the emotion that we can see. The biggest mistake people make in expressing their understanding for the driver is actually using the words, "I understand." Now, I don't want to demonize these words, and to be honest, just like I've said before, with the right tone and body language, most of the time, you'll get away with saying just about anything. But the problem is that by using these words, you really open yourself up to a very easy retort. You have to admit they've got a point. Now, even if you actually think that you actually do understand, then there is a better way of expressing this than just saying so. Rather than saying that you understand, you're much better off showing that you understand. And if we're going to show that we understand, we're going to want to take two parts of their experience into consideration. Firstly, there's the events. Usually there's a train of events that lead up to the current crisis. And if you've been listening, they probably will have given you plenty of clues as to what those events are. Secondly, there's the emotion behind the emotion. The classic one here is anger. More often, what lies behind anger is either frustration, fear, or pain. Well, guys, I'm just going to lay my cards on the table. I can't even begin to imagine how frustrating this situation must be for you. I mean, you played by the rules, you've done everything right, and yet here you are. It probably doesn't seem like it's paid off. Maybe you feel like you're never going to win. Most people would feel like giving up at this stage. Most people would feel incredibly annoyed. Okay, let's take a moment to just unpack what I've done there. Firstly, there's the I can't even begin to imagine. It's virtually the opposite of saying I understand. But what it is telling the other person is that I am trying to understand. Next, there's the how frustrating this situation must be for you. That's the emotion behind the emotion. But see how I've indicated that it's the situation that's frustrating, not that the person is frustrated. People often don't like to admit that they're scared or frustrated or admitting to any kind of other particular emotion or that they've lost control of their emotions in any way. So by shifting the responsibility for that onto the situation, we've made it a lot safer for them to be honest about that. Next, I mean, you played by the rules, you've done everything right, and yet here you are. It probably doesn't seem like it's paid off. Maybe you feel like you're never going to win. So here I've described the event, but notice I've steered away from apportioning any blame. In fact, I've actually taken the opportunity to show my respect. Notice also that I've used the language of uncertainty. Words like probably and maybe. This makes it much easier for the other person to clarify their real thoughts and feelings, particularly if I haven't got it right. And finally, most people would feel like giving up at this stage. Most people would feel incredibly annoyed. I've finished up by using a normalizing skill with suitably scaled up emotion. Now remember the sign you're looking for to know that your empathy has landed. These are the signs of trust and the evidence that you need to know that you're heading in the right direction. Just for clarification, I don't actually recommend using these skills in the context of a poker game, but I do hope you found the analogy useful anyway. If you have any suggestions, feedback, or requests, put them in the comments section below, and I will see you in the next video.